she drug and robbed. I'll rob niggas again. I don't give a fuck. And I'll rob them for real. And fuck niggas. I hate men. I don't give a fuck. I hate men and I don't give a fuck. I'll rob them motherfuckers. Dirty ass motherfuckers.
Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about an audio of CardiB that is going viral, and some people are demanding for CardiB to be arrested. Some people are asking, why isn't this woman behind bars? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna put the clip either at the beginning of this video or I may insert it somewhere. Now, you guys know that a couple years ago, CardiB is always talking. She just talks, right? And she spoke about, while she was working in the strip club, agreeing to have sexy time with men, going to hotel rooms with them, drug them, rob them, and she invested the money in their music career. I believe she did more than that. But that's her story, right? So, we have always been talking about it. You know, every time she's judgmental towards other females, we're saying, but didn't you do this? Naturally, people are going to remind you where you're from because she's always flaking herself to be something that she's not. Like in her head, she's a bad bitch and she's not. She's a crash out queen, like Tokyo Tony, but she's not a bad bitch. A plastic surgery doesn't make you a bad bitch, honey. Being a man's footstool does not make you a bad bitch. Being a man's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th, 101 baby mama, I don't know, can't keep up at this time, doesn't make you a bad bitch. And as such, she's gonna keep getting dragged. But the thing is that many people are saying, because she went on Spaces Live, because, you know, people have been talking about the chef and stefondiggs, the chef that stefondiggs paid for the BBL for, allegedly, because it is said that stefondiggs wanted CardiB to have competition because the chef cooks good, she's good in the bedroom, and he wanted her to have a BBL, you know, a full makeover. So it is alleged that stefondiggs paid for everything. And the internet is also alleging that it's both CardiB and stefondiggs who were having sexy time with the chef. Read between the lines. Remember I told you guys that stefondiggs is gonna get other women pregnant while CardiB is in the same bed? Yeah. So, CardiB, because people have been talking about stefondiggs and the chef, and everyone have been doing their think pieces, their analysis, and people have been saying, you know, this is not the first time we're hearing stefondiggs has allegedly put his hands on someone. CardiB came crashing out, honey. She went on Spaces Live and she was crashing the F out. And she was going off and she was like, yes, she has already robbed men and she hates men and she would do it again. So that's her doubling down on her statement. The statement that her narrow-minded troll fan base, her little minions have been telling me that's not what she said, you know, as though the clip doesn't exist for us to hear what she said, you know. So she doubled down on her statements. So she's been unapologetic about robbing men, drugging men and robbing them. And a lot of people are disturbed by it. And as such, we have attorneys who have been talking. We have various people from various walks of life who have been talking, because what they're saying is this. They're saying, ain't no way a man could repeatedly, boldly, unapologetically said, yes, they have drugged and robbed women repeatedly and they'll do it again because they hate women. And they're saying it's just not fair for CardiB to be doing this and get away with it, right? No. As such, many people are outraged, naturally, and they're saying CardiB deserves to be behind bars. And people have been asking, why is it that CardiB haven't been arrested? Why is it that there's no investigation against CardiB and all of that? Yeah, we know. With the darker skinned people, they're two different laws. We know that and we've seen it. We know and we've seen it, right? So many people are outraged. They are upset. And many people are saying, you know, people need to stop supporting CardiB because CardiB has no remorse for the crimes that she has committed, and such individuals, you know, should not be supported. But the thing is that if we're being honest with ourselves, CardiB tricks you guys into believing that she's getting heavy support. Isn't she selling like 100 songs in an album for $4.99? You guys call her support? You think if she was that good, she would be selling so many songs for $4.99? Where in the music industry have you guys heard of that before? That is unprecedented in the music industry. Unprecedented. So CardiB is just a loudmouth, and she's just good at being a loudmouth. CardiB's money comes from promoting brands. You know, like she's taking away bread from the influencers. CardiB is an influencer. She's not a hip-hop artist. She's not a rapper. She's an influencer. All she does is influence. And that's why do you notice how messy her life is? Just like some influencers. Messy, just the same, right? So, does she make any money from the music industry? Yes, naturally. But it's not as she's making you guys believe, okay? Most of her money comes from the brand promotions that you see her doing on TikTok and stuff. But with critics calling for her to be held accountable, I don't think it's going to happen because none of the men have stepped forward to say they were robbed by CardiB. And chances are most of those men are married men, and as such, they may never step forward, you know? So, and maybe CardiB could be doing something more nefarious and is saying that is what she used to do. It could be something more nefarious, you know, than what she's telling us. So you never really know what's going on there. But I really doubt that we're going to see anyone coming forward to say they were drugged and robbed by CardiB. Maybe not at this time, you know, because karma always comes back to balance out things. Stefondiggs seems to be her karma. Offset was her karma for sure. But Stefondiggs seems to be her karma, you know, and she doesn't even know it. She's just a fool in love. So we're going to have to wait and go through several crash out with her on the internet for her to wake up and realize that Stefondiggs is far worse than Offset. But hey, at least she has a outlet to crash out on. I pray that they don't get rid of Spaces Live, because if they do, she's going to do the crash out on Instagram. We don't want that on Instagram. Keep it over Spaces. But anywho, guys, I don't think she'll ever be held accountable for that, because none of the men are going to come forward and say, you know, men and their ego. Maybe not at this time, maybe 5 or 10 years down the line when she has less influence, because the music industry, they're very hypocritical towards her because she's a plant. Yeah, they do stuff for her that other artists don't get the opportunity of or the luxury of. So maybe when she has less influence, money and power, maybe at that point we may see those men coming for her, maybe, or it may not happen. But anywho, the girl is unapologetic about drugging and robbing men to make herself a superstar. Karma is gonna keep getting her. One failed album after the other. But anywho, that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.